The Aztec men's basketball team avoids a devastating loss. Barely. Hello and welcome to Aztecs All In, the podcast that goes all in on San Diego State. I'm Louis Weiner along with Steve Perez. And Steve, at one point toward the end of the game, overtime, when it looked like they weren't going to win, you texted me, gobble, gobble. What did you mean by gobble,
I
gobble?
was looking at the Aztec memorabilia and gear in the sparse stands there at Colorado Springs, and I was wondering who actually, invested some of their Aztec bucks to go attend this turkey, and that was a very bad loss. That was right in the crosshairs, and instead, it's just another win. Win.
77-76. Wayne McKinney drives the length of the floor with 4.5 seconds left. I'm guessing there was about 0.5 on the clock when the ball left his hand. It went in, and immediately you saw the Air Force guys fall to the ground, and Jared Coleman-Jones was like waving goodbye to nobody because there was like nobody in the stands anyway, Steve.
Oh, well, I saw Nick Boyd, though, who had fouled out of that game. He gave McKinney a big old hug, and that team really rallied around him, and they were happy to see Wayne McKinney 3. I call him WM3. And see him come through in a clutch like that, all the full length of the court, and had a big night coming off the bench, 18 points, 6 of 11 from the field, and the Aztecs avoid the big El Foldo on the road. And it was an amazing setup to that. There was a free throw situation on the Falcons' end, and guy at the line missed the free throw shot, but the Aztecs were unable to box out Wesley Cizikowski's jumper, and that gave the Falcons that lead. 4 left on the clock and setting up the dramatics at the end.
According to Mark Ziegler's game article, Brian Dutcher was yelling, box out, at that very moment, and it didn't happen. But McKinney really did come through. You're right, 18 points. And you did mention, I think, Nick Boyd or Miles Bird a few minutes ago. Neither of them played well. Combined 4 of 19 from the field, 1 of 11 from 3. Bird was 0 of 6 from 3. And it seems to me if those guys aren't scoring, it's going to be tough for them to win. You need somebody like McKinney to step it up.
Yeah, and I think you have some sound courtesy of San Diego Sports 760, where they perhaps shed some light on that for us, hey?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be tough in here, Ted. I tried to tell the team that, and I thought we brought good energy. We make too many mistakes still, and that's what young teams do. I mean, it's just free throw, box out. We work on it. They got 3 offensive rebounds on free throws and the one to tip in to take the lead. They missed a free throw 4 seconds ago. Looks like we're going to get the victory. And they tipped it in. They made a good play, and we continue to struggle with a lot of things, and we're trying to the dike has got some leaks, and we're trying to put our fingers in there and plug all the holes, and sometimes they take longer to plug than you hope. But to the credit of this group, they found a way to win. They didn't drop their heads. With 4.5 seconds, we executed a length of the floor play and got a layup. So that's as good as you can do with that amount of time left. And I'm proud of Wayne. Jared set the screen. Tosh threw the ball in, and they executed. And so we came in here, and we fought hard, and we got a win.
I felt great. It was a great moment. I'm thankful for my teammates for setting me up for that. Tosh with the great pass, Jared with the great screen, and giving me the opportunity to get a layup. So everything worked out perfectly, picture perfect. It was a great moment. My speed's always been there. Athleticism I've always been able to do. I've always been able to, blow by defenders, but adding that to my game, a mid-range game, knowing I can fade away and not have a 7-footer block my shot. I go against Magoon every day in practice, so being able to have guys like that, all the length against you, and knowing how to get your shots off against guys like that. So I've had a lot of practice this season, this summer, and ultimately it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, the Aztecs were without their big guns that night. Miles Bird and Nick Boyd, they both fouled out of that game and did not play well, as you mentioned. And that set the stage for other Aztecs to step up, like Jared Coleman-Jones. He had 14 points, 6 boards, and Taj DeGorville, a big night with double-digit scoring, 11 points, 7 rebounds.
Yeah, and we can't not talk about the free throw line situation. Air Force went to the line 44 times. The Aztecs 27, Air Force 30 of 44. And they're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country, and good for the Aztecs, because if they had made a couple of more, the Aztecs would not have been able to come back. But the Aztecs did force 17 turnovers while turning the ball over just 6 times, and they did have 7 blocks. So defensively, it wasn't all bad.
Right. Typically, too, at the end of the games in football and basketball, the ones that are on TV, they stand by as the alma mater for the Military Academy of Air Force to sound out. And so a lot of long faces in that lineup on the Air Force side, deservedly so for letting that one slip through their fingers. But Aztecs able to hold their heads up a little bit higher after that one.
Yeah, and I do want to mention they were wearing their red unis. The Aztecs are now 19-5 wearing their red unis and 36-4 in games following a loss. And Steve, if you've loved the red unis, some good news. Next Tuesday's game against San Jose is free red jersey night to the first 5,000 fans. That's an 8 o'clock tip versus San Jose State. So you can get your red jersey and put it next to your Brian Dutcher bobblehead. How about that?
Yeah, pretty cool. That's cool. What number is on the jersey? Any idea?
Oh, I don't know what number is going to be on the red jersey. I have no idea.
You'll have to go to the game and find out, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
And speaking of games,
so it was Brian Dutcher bobblehead night, sponsored by Town and Country, against UNLV, but bad juju's, it turned out, for this one, January 18th, a Saturday. Too bad, as it was also the ALS awareness game. First half, Rebels took it to them, though. Aztecs just 3 of 15 from beyond the arc. They were out-rebounded, scored just 23 points to the running Rebels' 31 to trail by 8 at the half. Fell behind by 13 in the second half, then managed to make it a game, going on a 9-0 run. They had it to a one-possession game at one point, but could not score, despite stopping UNLV numerous times. The loss was the second in the last 3 on their own home court. Afterward, Nick Boyd was asked about potential damage to the resume for March Madness for this loss, and he wanted none of it.
To be honest, I'm not really focused on that. I mean, I don't think we should be focused on that as a team. We got a lot of work to do to just continue to be in the race to win the Mountain West regular season. That was my first goal, not making a tournament or getting a tournament bid. I just wanted to win the regular season. And, I mean, I think we have 3 losses now, and we still got to play a lot of games. So we right there. Like I said, we just got to get bought into just playing San Diego State basketball, especially on the defensive end when our shots aren't going in. So I'm not really too concerned about our tournament. That'll take care of itself, but we still got a chance to win the championship, so that's my main focus.
So the Aztecs did fall a bit in the net ranking to 48. If they had lost, they would have dropped way down and maybe ruined their at-large opportunities. And they do have a quad 1 opportunity Saturday night against Nevada. Nevada is 73 in the net ranking, and that's a quad 1 game. So hopefully the Aztecs will perform well on the road in that one. And some other Aztec news: San Diego State senior men's golfer Justin Hastings won the 2025 Latin American Amateur Championship this past weekend at the Par 72 Pillar Golf Club in Buenos Aires. And with the win, he receives an invitation to compete in the 2025 Masters at Augusta and exemption, Steve, into both the British Open and the U.S. Open. So that's pretty remarkable. Good for him.
Yeah, that's good on Justin Hastings. That means yet another Aztec has a chance to be, the Cinderella Kid, the Masters champion. I don't know if you can call former Aztec Xander Schauffele a Cinderella Kid at this point. Well, with 2 majors last season, he's got a number 2 overall ranking. He'll be their 2-1 hopes. X is apparently dealing with a bothersome right rib. It's been bugging him since late last season, according to Golf Channel's Todd Lewis. The X was in the season opening Sentry event on Maui for PGA winners. He scratched out a tie for 30th, but then had to pass on the hometown Farmers Tournament at Torrey Pines, and is also dubious for the tour's signature event coming up at Pebble Beach next week. But another former Aztec making noise on the PGA Tour thus far this young season. Former Aztec J.J. Spaun, Mountain West Conference Player of the Year in 2012, He contended at the Sony Open in Hawaii, Lewis, a few weeks back before fading on the final day to finish tied for third. Still a nice $500,000 payday there. He has made the cut at Torrey Pines, this week's Farmers Insurance event, but he is back in the pack going into the final day.
Hopefully Xander will get a chance to play at Torrey Pines because the LA event is being moved down here in a few weeks, so maybe he'll be well enough to play in that one, Steve.
We'll see.
Back to bobbleheads, Lewis had a chance to chat with some of the Aztec fans in front of Viejas Arena before that UNLV game. It was about acquiring a coveted Brian Dutcher bobblehead. He was set up in his characteristic hands-on-hip style. Lots of folks, young and old, happy to get him and talk about it and their love for Coach Dutch with me. Of course, he's now in his 8th season as head coach, 26th year at San Diego State.
What do you think of it?
I like it.
It's the pose, huh?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
the
is.
pose for sure.
It's the
So
signature
how often do you
pose.
see him standing around like that?
All
Every
the time.
game, the whole game.
The whole game.
Why do you think he's doing that?
He's watching
He's
the games.
focused. He's focused.
locked in.
So even the bobblehead looks a little focused, huh?
Yeah, he does. You can see it on the face. Go Aztecs, and thank you, Coach Dutcher.
I love Coach Dutcher, and he's worthy of a bobblehead as far as I can see. And you know what? He's brought us more success following Steve Fisher, and we love the Aztecs.
He's doing what he does on the side all the time, like this. And when he gets mad, he stomps his foot.
And sometimes when the shots aren't going in or he's hoping it's going to go in, he gives a little bit of English.
He's like this all the time. But he's the best, right?
He's awesome.
And Lewis, reading the room after that loss to UNLV, decided to hold off on asking Coach for his take on being forever memorialized as a bobblehead, but with any luck, someday soon.
And finally, a cleanup on aisle 3 from the last go-round about the retirement of AP sports writer Bernie Wilson. That happened at the last Aztecs home game of 2024. I erroneously reported that the media deal vouchers were worth $15. What was I thinking? I wasn't. The actual value of these media vouchers that are so generously provided by our state university here in San Diego, $12. 12, not 15. So correcting the record, noting and regretting the error, which, as I know these days, is a rarity. But, Lewis, this was an item about the Associated Press, for crying out loud. So, again, I regret it. The least I could do is
$3
get that one right.
$3 is $3. So, yeah,
Yes, you're
I
right.
appreciate the correction.
And that'll wrap up this edition of Aztecs All In. Don't forget, you can drop us a line at aztecsallin@gmail.com and follow the chatter at Aztecs_all_in on the X. So, for the host Weiner, this is Steve Perez saying thank you. Talk to you again soon.